welcome to the Daily Dragonfly. Today we're going to do a little continuing on this fun canvas we started last week. I'm going to go ahead and what I want to do is I'm going to play with the depth here because we have everything kind of on the same level. This one's really popping. These two, not so much. So what I want to do is I want to differentiate some of this background from being, the same color as the dark water. And if you like that, you can just leave it. It is not a problem, but I'm going to go in here with just a little light blue. And I'm using one of my favorite brushes. Of course, these are the hog's hair, especially for acrylics, because the hog's hair are a natural fiber as far as the brush is concerned, but it has that rounded tip, and it has a variegated right to the end, sort of trimmed so it comes to a sharper point. So you can do a lot of fun stuff with that. So I'm going to dab off a little paint, and I'm just going to go in here right next to this. I'm going to not cover it totally. I just want to see what I want to do here. And I'm going to add just a pretty light blue right here. And I'm going to fade that out so it's not going to be the same color. But like if this were the sky, so what I want to do is I just want to scrub using that brush. And I'm going to take down that really deep outline on the outside of that lotus petal. And just because you can, this is your painting, you can do whatever you want. I decided I wanted to go ahead and experiment doing a little dry brush here, kind of bringing that out. And adding more difference between the lights come forward and the darks recess, but here this is making it pop a little more. See how this stands out now on this side more than this side? That is the contrast between the two colors. By lightening up that background here just a little bit, and I didn't even do a full a really opaque coat there, and I'm just adding a few other little different tones in there of blue, kind of bring it up so it starts to kind of match what's happening up in here. There we go. Now I'm feeling that a little more, right? And like I said, with the Daily Dragonfly, this is all about experimentation, having fun, trying new things. This isn't about, oh, this is a perfect piece. This is just really kind of getting into your rhythmic, lovely little daily painting practice. And as you can see right there, that has really brought that up into and around. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to lighten this area here. So I'm going to go in again. I'm not using a lot of water. I'm not cleaning my brush. Left-handed, so this side's a little more awkward, but that's all right. We're just going to go ahead and start putting a light little covering. And you can see my brush strokes are kind of a crosshatch motion. And that's because I want to see some of that blue from behind. I don't want it to be a fully opaque layer, but I do want to make that pop a little. So I'm going to get a little more paint here. Go down in here. There we go. There's a little bit of a bloom that was there, like an unopened lotus blossom. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that a little. I'm going to be a little more careful. Actually, I'll even use my non-dominant hand. This is my right hand, and I am left-handed, so this, let's be brave today, right? But I want to make sure you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to go right along that edge. And is this easy for me? No, but it's fine. You know what? It's always good to, especially if you want to get out of your head about something has to be perfect, just use your non-dominant hand. That'll teach you some lessons. That's always fun. Okay. There we go. So now that I've kind of danced some of that pigment up and around in there, you can see by scrubbing, it adds a nice little, just a little bit of lightness, just a little bit up there. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to take my left hand again, just because it's way easier for me to do that. And we're just going to go in here and make this a little better line. There we go. Now we'll pull that out. And by doing that crosshatch, it just visually brings it up higher. And you can see now, remember I talked about how paint always dries back darker than when you lay it down. It's true of ink, paint, whatever you're doing, especially like if you're painting a wall in your house. So this is dried back a little darker already than this side where I've just applied the new paint. So that's kind of fun. I like to see that. Okay, so now I'm going to go in between some of these little areas and I'm going to take that down. I don't want such a dark outline on the lotus. So I'm just going to go ahead, go in these little areas around the dragonfly. And we're going to go over this a few times. This is just fun. It just really gets you in the mood to play, try new things, and not be, worried about painting as a product. So we want to get out of it. We want to do painting as a practice. So remember my mantra, practice makes progress. If everybody painted every day for 2 hours, you'd be amazing painters and amazing, have picked up some amazing techniques just by learning, right? You learn by not succeeding at everything, right? If you make something you don't like, just paint over it. It's no big deal. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, do a little more of that in here. I think that's a really fun little lesson just to show you what you can do. I just use one little color of a lighter blue and just went ahead and changed my mind about what I wanted to do there on the outside of that lotus flower. I'm going to go back in here with my non-dominant hand and just go over that. And if it's not perfect, it's not going to be at all because I don't have a lot of hand control with my right hand. Okay, so here we go. There we go. Back in with the left. Much quicker that way. All right, let's go over here. I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. All right, so that has completely kind of changed the dynamic of this painting. And I like that. I like how you can just change something with a simple little brushstroke, right? That's how we can change our minds, change anything, try something new. Now I'm going in at the bottom here with another little layer, and I'm using that crosshatch motion because I like the texture showing through from the canvas. And I don't want to cover up all that, but I just want to kind of bring some of that lightness, kind of like it's glowing from behind, just around the outside, just because I want to try something different. See how that goes. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make that a little brighter. Even more contrast up against that black heavy outline of that lotus flower. Bring that up. Just kind of cross-hatch that out. All right. Well, that's fun. I love how using just one color can completely change the dynamic of a painting. That's it for the day. Thank you for joining, and I will see you at the canvas.